All right, friends, this video is for those of you who would like to go a little further with your weaving and turn it into an owl. You are going to need some supplies for this, scissors, which you already have. I will give you felt pieces. You will have a piece for a beak and 2 pieces, a black and a white, for the eyes. I will give you one of these colors for wings. So felt is provided by me. You, however, will need to figure out what you want to use as a hanger. This is a little twig that I just got off of a tree in my front yard. They're fairly thin, even thinner than my pinky. You want them to be kind of small. And if they have any leaves or anything, just pull those off. You could also use an old pencil if you wanted to, but I like the naturalness of the twig to go with the owl. So you do need to get this before you actually take your weaving off. The other stuff I can provide for you. So what you'll want to do is when you're done, and the way that you know that you're done is if the weaving gets really close to the top and it's also very difficult to weave. I have a little bit of yarn left, and so I'm just going to trim that off. Please do not ever poke your scissors in like this towards the weaving, because you can cut all of your weft threads, and we don't want that to happen. So anytime you need to trim a piece, you need to lay your scissors on the weaving and trim it so that you are not coming at the weaving with the scissors this way. So once you trim that off, then turn it over and take the warp strings in the back, cut them in the very center. I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to put my hand on it, because what I need to do is to take all of these pieces right here and I need to pop them out of the notches that we made when we put this on the loom. So we don't want to pull these threads out. That would be really bad. Your weaving would come completely undone. So you need to hold it when you pop these out, and just pull out one at a time, and you're just lifting up. You are not pulling like that way with it so that it's actually going to come out of the weaving. So be very, very careful when you do this part. So one at a time, just pop them out of the notches, and then you're done. So you can throw that away, or if you have more yarn at home, you could actually do a whole nother weaving by reusing this. So once you are done and you have all these little loose pieces, that's when you're going to attach the twigs, because they will be like your, it almost looks like your owl is sitting on a branch. So what you'll want to do is, you see how I just kind of straightened this out, and all I'm going to do is go under and then over and then under, over, under, over. And I'm just going to kind of hold that and wiggle that through and get it in place so that I can tie these pairs in knots. So you're going to take the pairs meaning 2, remember, take your 2 pieces that are side by side and start on the end when you do this. Take your 2 pieces and tie it just like you were going to tie your shoe. And it not only grabs the twig, but it also will lock your weaving in place. You have to do this part twice. So you tie it and then you tie again, and you're going to create a knot. Okay, so there's a really small knot right there, so that is not going to come undone. So take your next pair, do the same thing again, tie it one more time. So there's our knot. Last pair, tie it one more time. Okay, so now I have my 3 knots down here. I'm going to rotate that, and I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. So I'm going to straighten those out. I'm going to go under, over, under, over, under, over. Get that straight. Okay, so now I've got pairs again. Take my pairs, tie it like you're tying your shoe. Do that again. Next pair, same thing. The knots just tie everything together. It keeps your weaving from coming apart. And last one. Okay, once you're done with this, so now I can pick it up. It's not going to come undone. Everything's tied up nice. It's not going to come loose. I have another little piece of yarn. This is going to be my hanger. And all I'm going to do for that is just make a little loop. And I'm going to act like I'm going to tie it because all I want to do is slip that on the end of my twig. And I'm just going to pull that so it closes that loop, and then I'm just going to tie it one more time to create a knot. And there's one end of my hanger. I'm going to do the same thing again. Loop. Go behind my loop with my little end piece, just like I was going to pull it and make a knot, and then slide my loop over my little twig, and then tie it one more time so that I have a knot. If you don't tie it twice, you won't have a knot. Okay, so now this is my hanger. So there's my hanger. Okay, so then you will take your white piece of felt, and the best thing to do so that we get two identical eye pieces is to fold that in half, draw a circle, cut it out, and then you will end up with two circles because you folded it. So I've got two that I've already done. Okay, so you would put those on like that. You probably want to put a little bit of glue on the back so they'll stay on permanently. So just a little dot of glue. I would use liquid glue, not a glue stick. And if you need to like have some glue, I've got glue bottles and I can let you like borrow that for a second just to get this stuff attached. That's fine. So by folding that white and drawing your circle, you're going to end up, when you cut it out, you'll end up with two pieces for the eyes. You will do the exact same thing with your black piece. Fold it in half. You might want to draw on this with a Sharpie so that you can see it. Pencil's probably not going to show up on this. And then once you cut it, you will end up with two black pieces. They need to be a little bit smaller than the white because that will be your pupil. Okay. And then I have in the stack given you a little kind of golden yellow piece. Cut a little triangle for your beak. And then you get a different color for your wings. And when you do the wing pieces, I've already done some wings. I did like this baby blue. So again, fold and then draw your design on here for the wings. That way when you cut it, again, you end up with two pieces. Okay, so this is what my wing pieces looked like. It's almost like a teardrop, but then on one end I did a little zigzag, so it's kind of like little feathery ends to the wings. And then we would put those on like that. So again, if you need glue, I'll be glad to get you some glue. And I've got, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking about it, I've got craft glue that would be very good for this. So this is what this would look like when you are done.